We be live. Hello, Durud and Shalom. My name is Armin Navabi.
And I'm Ali Samani. We are your Iran experts. The IRGC fired on another ship just a couple hours ago. They're not letting up, and they are only going to escalate the closer we get to the United States midterms to put some pressure on Donald Trump. Undoubtedly, they're going to talk to the Democrats and say, listen, we're going to put some pressure on you, Donald Trump, your president, as long as you Democrats also ramp up the pressure at the midterms, and we're all going to be great. We're going to make a deal after you Democrats take over in a couple years. Everything's going to be great. So they're ramping up pressure nonstop, firing missiles every single day now, and hitting ships almost every single day. The rate used to be one every 4 days. One ship hit every 4 days. It's almost a ship a day at this point. And so we have something great for you guys today. And it's a great piece of news. Also, it's a great piece of propaganda for the Islamic Republic. What they're reporting is quite different than the truth. Let's start off with what happened in Iraq today, which is a great indicator for the Iranian people's freedom. If you've been watching the show, I've been saying that the PMF, the Hashd al-Shabi militia of the IRGC, is their most important one. Well, things are taking a great turn here. In that chair is Prime Minister al-Zaidi. Now, why? Who is he? Why is he important? He's the guy who's been cracking down on corruption in Iraq. He's arresting all of these IRGC politicians and everyone. And to his left there, you can see Brad Cooper, side profile. They just met today. Their topic was disarming Iraqi terrorist militias by September 30th. This isn't the first meeting they've had about it, but it is the first meeting after the United States has cleared its troops from northern Iraq, reinforced its troops in the rest of Iraq, the middle and south part, and al-Zaidi has drafted the law to get rid of the militias, plus readied his counterterrorism forces. It seems like all the building blocks are in place, and this meeting was to finally coordinate exactly what they're going to do. You can see the generals left on the left there, as long with the Iraqi generals on the right. So they had an extensive meeting here. Armin, this is a huge piece of good news, in my opinion. I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Yes.
Armin, if you were the PMF, would you wait until September 30th for the United States and the Iraqis to come knocking on your door?
Nope.
Seems like things are going to happen pretty fast at this point. This is great news.
You know, Ghani was in Iraq meeting with these people. You know that?
Correct. Absolutely. So we covered that for you guys. And Ghani is the IRGC commander in charge of all the terrorist militias throughout the Middle East. He made a surprise visit to Baghdad a couple nights ago. Well, it turns out his secret visit, as we reported, was correct. It was actually about gathering up the militias, knowing their strength and their troops. And then he also issued a private message to al-Zaidi himself. And he told al-Zaidi, you need to extend the September 30th deadline. Now, that's interesting. He didn't say, hey, man, like, stop. He just said, extend the September 30th deadline. Here's what the Islamic Republic is reporting about this news. Look at this, guys. This is Fars News, the IRGC-affiliated news in Iran, state media. This is what they said. They said the Iraqi prime minister's meeting with the commander of the terrorist organization CENTCOM. And then they even said that al-Zaidi told Brad Cooper that you have to withdraw all U.S. military forces from Iraqi soil by September 30th. So that's what the IRGC are reporting.
So, so this is what's happening, right? Iraqi people want all the war out of Iraq. They want United States military out, Islamic Republic military out, U.S. investments in. So the Islamic Republic is losing in Iraq, and they're trying to spin it as a win by pointing out that the Americans are leaving as well. But what they're not pointing out is that the Americans are leaving with the condition that the Islamic Republic forces would be leaving as well. So this is not a win for the Islamic Republic. And Ghani was in Iraq begging these people for, instead of disarming Hashd al-Shabi, for them to trust Hashd al-Shabi to store the weapons in a separate area or something without actually giving up their weapons. And then the Iraqis told them, Ghani, no way. The only way we have a deal with the Americans, we are going to completely push on disarming Hashd al-Shabi. There is no other way. So this is going to be a huge loss for the Islamic Republic, and I think they're going to resist it.
Yes. Let's talk about how they're going to resist it. So again, guys, this is a massive step. If this is implemented correctly, the Iranian people are not just one step closer to freedom. They're like 50 steps closer to freedom. It's a massive, massive blow to the IRGC suppression capabilities. They're going to resist it, Armin. Here's what they're going to do. Ghani, the commander of all the terrorist militias, is going to tell them, fight. Defend yourselves when the time comes to it. When the US and the Iraqi forces come knocking on your door, fight them. They're going to fight. I have yet to see the United States lose in a military conflict, in a direct head-on conflict with any, military, much less terrorist militias. So they'll get destroyed. They'll get destroyed and they'll start retreating into Iran. That is the key moment. When they start retreating, if the United States has set a perimeter and they do destroy these Iraqi convoys retreating into Iran, we know the US is going for regime change. If they allow these militias to cross over into Iran, and then maybe that's their goal, then this thing is going to drag out. There's going to be other ways to deal with it. So I need Brad Cooper to personally oversee. I need him to look with eyes above from drones or whatever and look at these convoys of these terrorists going into Iran, and I want them gone. I want A-10s strafing up the highway of death, 2.0. So I'm anxiously going to be waiting for that. September 30th is the deadline. They're going to act sooner than that. No one waits for an enemy to come knocking on their door. And Al-Zaidi, in my opinion, is not going to move this deadline because he's been pushing this deadline for 3 months. Ever since I started YouTube, he's starting this September 30th deadline. He's been doing everything in preparation to get rid of it. He cut the funding by going after the politicians. He met with Hegseth, the Pentagon, Brad Cooper multiple times, drafting up plans on how to deal with it. He reorganized his generals. He rebuilt the Iraqi counterterrorism force, and he is ready to go. Of course, the United States is going to be backing him on this, and that is a huge indicator for which is this going to go successfully or not. I felt much better after seeing that today. And now, onto some other good news, Armin. Rezai, who is now, one of the top dogs of the IRGC of the Islamic Republic, said something today. He said, for any future negotiations to take place, we need talks to be about Lebanon and Gaza as well. Why is that interesting, guys? So first of all, Rezai is an idiot. Genuinely. He's actually retarded. He doesn't have the IQ. He's a puppet. People tell him what to say. They tell him, hey man, go into this meeting, take this stance, take a hardline stance on this topic, just don't back down, and that's what you're going to do, okay? And he says, yes, sir, goes in there. Whoever ordered him to say that about Gaza and Lebanon, which is probably Mujtaba or Hossein Taib, the leader, the shadow leader or supreme leader of the Islamic Republic, is telling him to provoke Israel. Talk about Gaza and Lebanon for the negotiations. You're trying to drag Israel into the talks here. Israel can strike and destroy the IRGC whenever it wants. It could take out many of their top officials, but it cannot fight an extended war with the Islamic Republic, because doing so would weaken Israel and potentially allow Turkey to grab a bigger slice than is already grabbing, which is a very big threat for Israel at the moment. So they don't want to fight an extended war. They want this to be over short and sweet. Israel getting dragged into this is not a good idea, Armin. I don't know what. I think this is one of their, let's talk big to show that we're strong against Israel for our own supporters kind of thing. What do you think?
I think this is just. I don't think they're trying to drag Israel into this because they're afraid of Israel. I think the Palestinian cause is the main signal, unifying signal that they need to keep pointing to as a way to get more forces on their side. And also, it's just a way of suggesting that they're not going to capitulate, that they're not going to back down. It's a signal that they're going for maximum pressure. It's for an internal audience, signaling that the era of negotiations is over, that the Ghalibaf is a pushback against the Ghalibaf camp, and it's a signal to the proxies around the region that we're back, and we have your back. So that let's do this. I think it's more of a virtue signaling and calls to arms and rebuilding the axis of resistance.
And the other part of their internal plan is that they elected Hossein Taeb. We've been talking about him. He's the mullah in charge at the moment, other than Mojtaba Khamenei, if he's alive. Mojtaba Khamenei is the supreme leader. Hossein Taeb is now the shadow leader. I took a look at his record. This guy was the head of the intelligence ministry for like a long time. I think it was like somewhere around 15 years or so. His report card is not that great. It's actually riddled with failures. All of the major Mossad breakthroughs and intelligence successes were under Hossein Taeb's watch. They infiltrated the nuclear sites under Hossein Taeb's watch. They assassinated nuclear scientists and other people under his watch. So this guy is someone who's just failed pretty much his entire career. He's nothing going for him. He has no good success stories, and he was cast aside subsequently because of his poor performance. But Armin, he's best friends with Mojtaba Khamenei, isn't he?
Yes, because in the Islamic Republic, performance is less important than loyalty. So the main metric is loyalty. And, yes, he gets on performance, he gets an F minus. Many people died under his watch. Qasem Soleimani died under his watch. Fakhri Zadeh, the main nuclear scientist of the Islamic Republic, died under his watch. So performance, he gets F minus, but on loyalty, he gets an A plus, and that's the main thing that the Islamic Republic cares about.
So his role is to suppress. That's what he's good at. That's what he's brought in to do, other than his loyalty. He's not really competent, but one of his first acts is to be the commander of the Basij. For those you may not know, the Basij are the orcs, heavily indoctrinated idiots. You can't have a normal conversation with them. They're so dogmatized. And they're generally the people that they have to go, if you know what I mean. Whether Iran's free, they still have to go. They cannot have this place in regular society, and most of their hands are stained with the bloods of hundreds, if not thousands, of Iranians. Each one of them, they will be prosecuted like the Nazis were. This is what Hossein Taeb is brought in to do. And if he's brought in to do that, that means that the intelligence ministry of the Islamic Republic believes an uprising is coming soon. Armin, what are the indicators that perhaps may bring about another uprising at the moment?
Well, the number one indicator for me is making Hossein Taeb the head of Basij, right?
Right.
Which shows that the Islamic Republic's number one fear is a double uprising. But other than that, the economic situation is a major indicator, because most of the sparks of the previous uprisings, every single one of them, well, not every single, almost all of them except the Massa one, was economic conditions. So that is a huge indicator that something big is about to happen. What about you? What do you think?
Correct. So, guys, they actually just bumped up the price of gas like over 2 times, and that's been the outrage today. Economically, it's looking pretty terrible for them. Here's the reason why they don't have gas. Iran doesn't have gas. You have to wait for hours in gas stations. Why is that? A country so rich in gas? Well, it turns out they export crude oil and import gasoline. Correct. Tragic. That's a bit of a problem for them. These mullahs, instead of rebuilding or, adding on to the infrastructure of Iran, instead chose for 47 years to spend hundreds of billions building nuclear bunkers, which are inaccessible at the moment. The US just comes in, closes the entrances to them. They built up a worthless navy. They built up all these militias who are being dismantled as we speak. They got nothing to show for it. In fact, they don't have enough money right now to pay their own Basij. They're sending that money still to the Iraqi militias. That is just how important Iraq is to them. So when the economic factors are compounding on top of each other, no one can say for certain when the people rise up again. It could be tomorrow. When that happens, I have a strong feeling that a lot of these Islamic Republic supporters will also join in. Not because they want the Iranian people to bring in Reza Pahlavi, but because they don't believe the Islamic Republic is the Islamic Republic any longer. They want their own faction to be in charge. That's going to serve the interests of us. These indoctrinated fools who for 47 years screamed death to America and are now negotiating with America, being beaten by America, their money's being controlled. It's humiliation. Half of them want to negotiate, half of them want to fight. There's a new rising faction amongst the Islamic Republic supporters, and we'll show you that in our Alligram section where we grab the messages from them. They are not happy. They are waking up to two realities. One, the Islamic Republic is lying to them. And two, the economic situation is affecting even them. Keep in mind, a lot of regime supporters are generally more well off. They're in with the government. They're getting the money on the down low. Not any longer. And now that they're complaining, we even, in our live yesterday, we showed you guys an interview with a Basij who gave us statements from the last 7 months. The only reason that this Basij, who is in charge of killing Iranian people, is thinking of quitting is because he's not getting paid anymore. It's because he said, my wife has to stand in line to use a coupon to buy bread. That's what these IRGC guns are thinking about. They don't care about killing people or not. They don't care that they suppressed all these people for all these years. And here's what's going to happen. A lot of them will not show up to work. The ones who do will have Iraqi militias standing right behind them, just like they do in Russia. Those Iraqi militias have instructions. Shoot the Basij if he doesn't fire on the Iranian people. Just like how the Russians do to their own conscripts in the Ukraine war. It's a big thing. That happened once before. Is the same tactic going to work again? I'm not sure. They're not getting paid. They know that the people are going to tear them apart if they win. And it looks like the people are going to win with each passing day. I'm not too convinced that we're going to see as many Basij as we did before, which wasn't even a lot. Armin, a lot of them back in January didn't show up, did they? That's why they had to bring in the terrorists.
Yes. They were desperate for a couple of tens of thousands of terrorists from Iraq, Afghanistan, and Pakistan, even though they had hundreds of thousands in the IRGC. Why would you need tens of thousands when you already have hundreds of thousands?
Correct. So let me show you the map of Iran. Here's how this uprising is going to be successful. Let's start from the basics. The last time the uprising occurred, terrorist proxies from Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iraq, and Lebanon all made their way into Iranian cities. There weren't enough Basij suppressive forces for the Islamic Republic to kill enough people. They panicked. They paid these proxies a ton of money and they brought them in. These Arab proxies had no issue murdering Iranians or taking women as prizes or etc. Much, much worse. In fact, there's videos coming out as of today of those atrocities coming out. One video made it today and it was very viral. I'm not going to show it on stream because I can't. But here's what's going to happen. The United States needs to do a couple of key things. We can't stop the proxies from Afghanistan and Pakistan entering, but what we can do is stop the proxies from Iraq entering. And we know that Brad Cooper's meeting today was just about how to deal with these proxies. One of their headquarters is down here, one of the only land routes where you can invade Iran by sea or by land, and subject to one of the heaviest bombing runs of the United States on the Islamic Republic. Has been in that area, prepping perhaps. So what's the second thing that the United States needs to do to aid the Iranian people? The second thing is actually take out the railroads. I'm not kidding. You need to take out key railroad parts, cross sections, intersections, and etc. Because what ended up happening last time was when these terrorists entered here, they were able to take the railroads, which, by the way, the Pahlavi Shah built, to go from here to here, or from here to here, or from here to here. If they can't do that, if they can't reinforce the Basij forces, what we're left with is towns of 10, 15, 20,000 people population who have maybe 200, 300, 400 Basij. So these Basij are left on their own. If all of them show up, by the way, they're 200, 300, 400, then they're faced with thousands of people who this time will definitely have some makeshift weapons, even some real weapons. And when they can't get reinforced, well, it's game over for these towns. The issue remains for the capital. The capital of Tehran boasts about 13 to 14 million people, or anywhere between 10 to 14, depending on who you're asking, million people, and is subject to the highest number of Basij forces. So how do we get rid of them? There's only one way out of this for the United States, and it's only through. You deploy all of your assets. Prince Reza Pahlavi deploys all of his assets. You put Reaper drones in the air, Dark Eagles, circle around for 36 hours. They got 8 missiles they can shoot down onto snipers or checkpoints. The Iranian people themselves are armed with modern tactics like drones and other such weapons. And Tehran is the key. If Tehran falls, we win, and we only need to win a single time. Now, what boosts our chances? Again, last time the Basij were getting paid, and they still, a lot of them didn't show up this time. They're not getting paid, and they don't have the money to get paid. They know what's coming. The United States has built up 3 times almost the forces that it had back on February 28th. It's not doing it just for show. We can start looking at this with a serious angle once those Iraqi militias are dealt with over the course of the next, in my opinion, 30 to 40 days. They have 48 days exactly to disarm. It's going to happen much sooner than that. You had the meeting from the IRGC commander to direct them. You had the meeting from Brad Cooper and Al-Zaidi. Everything's set. When is the trigger going to be pulled? U.S. forces are ready. The Iraqi government is ready. Who's not ready are all these guys. All of these guys are still trying to make peace with the Islamic Republic. And Armin, I'm going to let you show that in just a second. But let me give you an example of just how two-faced some of these countries are. Some of these countries claim that they're buddy-buddy with the United States or Israel. But for the second day in a row, the United Arab Emirates has sent another jet to Tehran. Took off from Abu Dhabi, landed in Tehran, and this time it only parked for 30 minutes. Yesterday, it stayed on the tarmac for an hour before taking off. This today was 30 minutes. I didn't want to believe it. I thought maybe the first meeting yesterday, the first plane that got sent to Tehran was just maybe a diplomatic message of some sort. But no, why would you need to send a second plane 24 hours later? This is probably money. The United Arab Emirates is probably buying its way out of the upcoming war to get hit less by the IRGC. If that is true, it's just my speculation, but if that's true, quite unfortunate. Quite unfortunate. Not that I don't understand, every country has their own priorities, but quite unfortunate. So, Armin, what did you want to show for us?
Oh, I can show this whenever. Is this a
Okay.
good time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. No, I just wanted to show you the new arrangement of the Islamic Republic because some structures have changed. And Ali, you were right about something, and I was wrong about something. Okay, so this is the supreme leader up here. Actually, let me do it with visuals. Okay.
Ooh.
So these are the armed forces of the Islamic Republic. Okay. So the armed forces of the Islamic Republic, you have the supreme leader at the very top. And then you had two institutions. This is the before. Okay, so you had ستاد کل نیروهای مسلح, which I think is in English you say the general staff of the armed forces, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was supposed to basically, we have different armed forces of the Islamic Republic. This institution is supposed to organize them all together so they work in coordination with each other, right?
He's like,
so I thought that this is going to be managing only the Artish and the so I thought that this institution is supposed to be only for the Artish and the IRGC, but no, Ali, you were right. They also are for the Basij, right? So they control 4 different institutions: the Artish, the IRGC, Faraja, which is basically kind of like the police, and the Basij. So they're supposed to coordinate all 4 of these together. And then we had this other institution called Dargah Markazi Khatam al-Anbiya, or Khatam al-Anbiya for short. And that was the institution that it was only for the Artish and the IRGC, right? So this one was basically had control over 2 of the armed forces, right? So what just happened is Ali Abdullahi, who was in charge of Khatam al-Anbiya, was also they made him also in charge of this the general staff of the armed forces, this institution over here. Okay, and then this was the before picture, and now this is what the after picture looks like. Okay, so now this is the after. So they're merging those 2 institutions together. So now you have the supreme leader in charge of the merger of those 2 institutions, both the Khatam al-Anbiya institution and the general staff of the armed forces. I think they're now just going to call it the general staff of the armed forces. And through that, this institution is now in charge of organizing and optimizing and coordinating all the armed forces, which is the Artesh, which is being led by Amir Hatami, the IRGC that Vahidi is in charge of, Faraja, which is kind of like the police that Radan is in charge of, and Basij, which Hossein Taib is in charge of. And a lot of people are thinking that this merger is with the intention of eventually also merging IRGC and the Artesh together and turning them into one unit.
Yeah. And that's going to be very problematic. I mean, can you guys try to imagine if the United States tried to merge the Marine Corps and the Army? That is an issue. And that's the United States. It wouldn't, it's not impossible. They can do it. But now imagine if failing IRGC and Iranian army trying to merge together. These guys are starving of resources. Yeah. It's not gonna look too pretty. They're gonna have to cut off a bunch of limbs and retain some of their core capabilities here, but it's the best they got here. It's not a bad move. It's really not.
So, yeah. Some people argue that in dictatorial regimes with less accountability, it's going to be easier to do in when you don't have when you have less accountability. In fact, they might be able to quickly remove a lot of the fat and just cut out all of the inefficient parts. We don't know. But did this chart help? Like, is this a
Yeah.
good way of visualizing all of this?
Mhm.
Let us know in the chat. But good point. Yeah.
Yeah, we also put this in here. We also have this if you guys want as well. That one's in Farsi. This one's pretty much the same exact thing in English if anyone just wants to quickly skim through it. So you have Supreme Leader, just as Armin said. Then you have Ali Abdullahi, the Armed Force General Staff, kind of like Hegseth at this point. Then you got like the IRGC Commander-in-Chief, the Army Commander-in-Chief. Then you have Radon, the Police Commander, and all of these other points. Although this one right here, as you said, should be up here.
No, actually, that's more accurate because the Basij is supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, that your chart is more accurate because Basij is supposed to be part of the IRGC.
We should actually grab this guy, Hossein Taib, right here, and just put him right there. That would be accurate as well.
Yes.
Trying to hide all the way down here. So yeah.
But this also shows that.
Yeah.
This also shows that the charts doesn't actually show how powerful you are, right? Because Hossein Taib seems to be under the order of Vahidi, and Vahidi seems to be under the order of Abdullahi, but it's the other way around. Hossein Taib is more powerful than Vahidi and Abdullahi, and Vahidi is more powerful than Abdullahi. So the charts misrepresent how influential people are.
Correct. So we just identified everyone who may have to go. You know, they might.
Yes,
they might
everybody.
have to go.
All of them. Everybody on the chart.
Here is the we said all of that, so you guys can realize this is how they regrouped and reformed. This was a power struggle the entire time, with one faction maybe dropping in power for a bit and rising back up. These are the guys who currently have the most amount of power. Ghalibaf has fallen from power at the moment, and they didn't even need to pull him down. They actually just needed to appoint people who are against Ghalibaf. And by relativity, Ghalibaf is weaker. So yeah, I hope CENTCOM took some notes from us there. I'm saying that completely sarcastically. Oh man. Here's one other thing. We can quickly summarize a new person for you guys. There's a guy named Hejazi. Hejazi is also pretty important.
New character unlocked. New character unlocked. Yes.
Hejazi is you guys know Game of Thrones, like, you know, Littlefinger, but competing with Littlefinger was the bald guy. What was his name? Anyway, it was the bald guy who like would use like the whisper of secrets and stuff like that. Kind of big, kind of chunky. Varys. Yes, Varys. Okay, so Varys is like Hejazi.
Spy.
Yeah, so he's the guy who passes all the notes, the handwritten notes, the messages, the late of night, you know, hear a knock on your door and your IRGC commander. It's going to be one of Hejazi's messengers delivering you a secret message or directions, etc., like that. So that guy, everyone knows him. He's been the kind of the coordinator guy. He knows a lot of secrets, a lot, if not all. He's also trying to step up at the moment, although a bit more quietly. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him too, aren't we?
Yeah, he's a big deal.
So, yeah. So, guys, we have some interesting pieces of news for you guys. We also have some Ukraine updates. In the city of Tehran, the capital of Iran, a Basij was assassinated last night. This man right here, grab this, make it bigger. This man, his name is Saeed, what was it again? Something. Anyway, what ended up happening was the Immortal Guard took a car, followed him from his house, rammed their car into his car, this IRGC Basij guy, forced him to stop his car by ramming into it, and then attacked him with knives. And you can imagine what happened later. This man got assassinated and is sparking some controversy and some fear amongst the IRGC that they could perhaps be next, because this guy was just the IRGC Basij. Wasn't like a commander, wasn't anyone important. Someone just ganged up on him, tracked him down, stopped him. I mean, fair play, good operation. And knives, they didn't have guns.
We do not endorse YouTube. We do not, for legal reasons, we're reporting on the news. We're reporting
Correct.
on what is happening in Iran. We do not condone violence. This is just us reporting on what the Iranian people might or might not be doing. Okay.
Correct. And in addition to that activity by the Iranian people, we see more people posting Javid Shah on the walls of Iranian cities once again, similar to how we did before the uprising, during the uprising, and afterwards as well. This is posted by Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi himself. And
guys,
along
so hold on, let me say, Steve in the chat is saying something. Steve, be careful. I know you're joking around, but be careful, because you're saying this also on Ali's channel. We are trying to abide by community guidelines, and the things that you guys are writing is showing up on the screen as part of the video, not separate from the not separate as the chat. So just try to be careful to try to save both my channel and Ali's channel from any community guidelines strike. Thank you.
Yes, Steve.
Go ahead.
Okay. So
thank you, guys.
We're seeing more messages by the Iranian people. They're writing them on the walls. They're also climbing up mountains, and they're holding up commemoration posters. This is for the 18th and 19th of Daymah, which is the 8th and 9th of January. This is Mazandaran. This is inside of Iran. They climbed the mountain. They brought this with them, and they're showing it, the indomitable Iranian spirit. Moving on to out of the activities of the Iranian people against the Islamic Republic, we have a couple more things going on. This billboard that we see put up in Tehran is quite indicative of the economic situation here. I mean, what does that say?
It says, oh my God. Well, okay, so you could buy bikes with zero down. Basically, what is it called in English when you pay in installments? Oh, installments, right?
Yeah, installments.
Yeah, so you could pay in installments, zero down for a bike. Are you kidding me? So you're financing a bike, not a car, not a home, a bike. So you could buy bikes. So you have to pay probably crazy amount of interest, probably double the original price to just get a bike.
Got to take out a loan to buy a bike at this point. That's not looking too good. What about this one?
Oh no, it's don't just look. You could also get a hotel in installments. So come
hotel room.
So this is hotel room to go to Shiraz. This is not even for a foreign country. This is for visiting a city in your own country. And they're saying book a hotel room. Don't just look. Book a hotel. Pay it for it in installments. Unbelievable. Yep. So guys, again, this is not taking a loan to buy a house or a car. This is, paying in installments for your hotel reservation. Not even for a foreign country, to visit a city in your own country. God damn.
Yep. Then there's also this one.
Oh my God, for going to the dentist. So you could get a loan for 700 million 2 months. So that's basically oh my God. To basically get a no, I think this is for education. Oh, this is a loan for education, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a bit more normal because we do have loans in other countries for education, student loans. This is like a student loan. This is more normal.
Yeah.
But
So
0%, zero down.
yeah, so everything is becoming so expensive, and it is so expensive that instead of being able to pay for it outright, you're gonna have to take some loans, just to buy a bike, maybe go on a vacation for a hotel room, even university, which is, I mean, it's not expensive in Iran, or at least it didn't used to be, before this time, is now evidently too expensive to be able to pay your tuition.
Oh, it says
Um,
treatment. Okay, so never mind. This is not for education. This is for treatment, the dental treatment.
oh, treatment. So
So you gotta get a loan for
get a
treatment.
loan to go to the dentist.
Oh, that's
Nice.
okay. Tashilat, not tahsilat. Tahsilat. Okay, yes. So this is a loan for getting your 0% down
Oh,
for
down
getting
one.
it. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right
There.
Oh, tahsilat. So make it easier to get. I think it means to get it easier to
yeah.
get your dental treatment without paying anything up front. Guys, this means
Sheesh.
that it's all going to get more expensive, right? So whatever the original payment was, now you have to pay it with interest. This is going to be probably double the price or something like that.
Yeah. So a couple of things that are going to be pushing the Iranian people to be pretty angry. We're going to read a couple super chats, and we're going to give you guys alligrams, which is insider messages from the Islamic Republic. So Joanne, thank you for the super chat, says Ali's turn today. Let's go. Yeah, it is. And I won. I won the super chat race. Guys, what is Armin's punishment going to be today?
You did win.
Absolutely. Thank you, Joanne. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Always helping me win. And Mayor Schreiber says, next time Ali gets the Santu punishment, please play the Shahan Shah. I read about it in the Hebrew version of Time to Betray by Reza Kahlili. Is that Benam Shah? Is that what they mean?
I think Benam Shah is different from Shahan Shah.
Reza Kahlili. Okay, I mean, I'll try to find it. And thank you, Mayor Schreiber. And thank you, Teresa, for being the 9th subscriber. Remember that message you made? Appreciate you.
Yes.
Hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
And we'll read this one and then go to alligrams. Wes Downer says, I hear Iran is going to be hitting the blockade with a massive attack with their magic wand soon. Yeah, they're going to go Fenestras. They're going to go Abracadabra. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do.
Fenestras.
These guys...
You turn into salt. I know that spells. I remember from Harry Potter. When you say Fenestras, you turn into pillar of salt.
Yeah. And that's why Fenestras is the salt queen. Yeah, Wes, I don't know what they're going to do. They fired 111 missiles at the Abe Lincoln at the same time, and they all got intercepted. So surely now they're much stronger than they were 6 months ago, right? Yeah. Thank you, Wes, for the super chat. Okay. Here we go. Guys, we have a section called Alligrams in our show. We go in, we take the IRGC supporters, their messages from their group chats. We show you guys what they're saying. These messages will be indicative of the regime supporters' mood in Iran today. First one is by this guy. Translate this for you guys. So, this is a regime supporter who's wondering why other regime supporters are still defending the government, saying, oh my God, what are you guys defending this government for? You don't even have the money to buy a kilogram of fruit. Inflation is 300%. Water, electricity, and gas bills are millions of toman. They're 5 times more expensive now. Rice is worth 10 toman. So again, 300% inflation on food. It's not a good time. It's not a good time at all. And that, as we told you guys earlier, is the main topic of the regime today. What the hell are we going to do? Yeah.
Can I mention to people why this is so important, what Ali is showing us? Because what they were trying to sell us is that economic hardship would only bother the anti-regime people. These jihadi people, they don't care. They can tolerate being poor. They could tolerate economic hardship. They're resilient. Okay, and they're not going to get bothered. So them crying about economic hardship is rich coming from them, because they said, like, hey, they were ready to give blood for the Mahdi and for fighting against Americans and Israelis. So why are you complaining about not being able to, I don't know, buy bread or eggs? You were supposed to be able to give blood for your Islam. So why are you guys complaining?
Yeah. And then Armin, can you read it from like here on?
Okay. From there?
Yeah, you don't
برنج
need to read
شده
the things
خدا.
before it.
Okay, برنج شده خدا تا من. Okay. So the price of rice is how many 2 months? God amount of 2 months. so what is the price of rice? God level, God prices.
And then can you summarize this real quick, just what they're saying in this line?
برنج شده خدا تا من، برنج شده خدا تا من، بنزین 87,000 تومان، 400 بیبرقی 200 بیابی. Okay, so rice is expensive, fuel prices are so high. We have 4 hours of electricity outages, 2 hours of water outages.
And then look at what they say next. This guy goes in on them.
دادن خزر به روسیه نبود. They gave the Caspian Sea to the Russians. There's no jobs for the young people anymore. There's corruption all over the country. All of our investments, all of our resources has been spent on missiles and drones, or on Iraq, Lebanon, Palestine, Syria, or in Venezuela. And then the rest is going to be in the next message.
Yeah, and then he says, yeah, okay. So this guy's not happy. Basically, what he's saying is, why are we still trying to wage a war? The price of basic food is sky high. Electricity, water. We can't keep going like this. That is the main point. And Armin said, these regime supporters who had it good for so long, they're starting to complain. That never happened before. Let me refresh this so the translator can keep up. Okay, here we go. All right. We got some fake news. We told you earlier that when Brad Cooper met with al-Zaidi, they met to disarm the militias. But then the Islamic Republic state media said, oh yeah, it was actually al-Zaidi telling Brad Cooper, you got to get out of Iraq completely by September 30. So they're spinning it, fake news. Here it is again. I don't know where this guy got this statistic, but he's like, CNN's controversial confession is that 88% of Americans say the war with Iran has been a failure and that the United States has not achieved its goals. They also said that the US president's popularity has fallen below 36%, which is unprecedented. The Epstein affair has not left Trump's lap and is gaining wider dimensions, getting momentum every day. So 88% of Americans, damn, that's pretty high. 36% approval rating for cool. So this is what they're operating under, as if they, did. This is their own numbers. 88% of this approval is for the IRGC. Yeah, go on.
I mean, those numbers might be true, but here's a question. What is your approval rating in Iran? What is your approval rating? And what is the support for your war against the United States and Israel in Iran? Huh? What if we check? Can we have a poll on that? Do you want to run a poll on that?
Yes. This is what they're operating under, by the way, just so you guys know. These aren't like normal, rational people. And if they are, they're being fed information that's completely bogus. Misinformation is running rampant, and censorship. They're not getting the correct info. We've showed you messages before. They say, oh my God, I got to go grab foreign media and read that to get the correct news because our own media doesn't tell us the truth. Okay. We have someone here talking about the Mecca alliance between Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. He says, oh, so Erdogan and Pakistan also turned against us, the Islamic Republic, with this Mecca pact. This is the result of warmongering and hostility towards the whole world. And that's why the whole world will turn against the Islamic Republic. For example, if I were to fight and beat up all the neighbors in a 30-unit building, it would be obvious that the neighbors would unite with each other and make me miserable. A little bit of common sense there. Refreshing common sense. Who knows? If you beat up everyone or try to bully everyone, they will also get back at you. And let's see what the response is from another person to this message. Here we go. So the other person was like, it's our own fault. This person is like, what do you mean by warmongering? Iran wasn't the one who started it. Wouldn't it be better to condemn the enemy instead of condemning Iran and siding with the enemy instead? They announced the Mecca Agreement, and they said it had nothing to do with Iran. Even our own news agencies reported that. Please keep believing that. Oh my God. That the Mecca Agreement has nothing to do with the Islamic Republic. That's, you don't even have to use your brain to realize that one. Our own news agencies reported it. Telling you guys, these guys are getting completely bogus info. And that's going to bite them in the butt pretty severely. Here is our next one. Let's see what this person's saying. About warmongering, huh? All right, let's play the blame game. So this person says, we, the Islamic Republic, are not warmongers, but we are determined to defend our country. That's the narrative, by the way. We're not warmongering. We're not causing anything. We're just defending Iran. That's what the regime supporters think. The economic situation is not because of the war. It is because of the lack of supply, suggesting that the United States blockade. And it's also the fault of the government that had no plan, but the people voted for it. I mean, this is a very classic take, is it not? We are not warmongers. We're just defending Iran. The economic situation is also not because of the war. It's because the government, the people voted for this government.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, you declared war against the United States before the United States did anything, right? The United States, under the Carter administration, was helping the mullahs against the Pahlavi. And when the Pahlavi fell, they tried to cooperate with the mullahs. The mullahs, they took over the embassy in Tehran, took the American staff there hostage, declared war against the United States, promised to destroy the United States one day, chanted death to America ever since, and have been working on building a nuclear weapon and other weapons to try to one day destroy the United States, and they haven't been hiding that information. In fact, I have a video, if you're interested, I could show you just yesterday from Ghani confirming that. Something that we have been saying. So just yesterday, we got another confirmation of that being the goal, right? So yeah, I think like world domination, trying to war, having jang teruz qiyamat. That's what they say, like war until the end of times. So yeah, that's warmongering in my opinion, right? Also, the economic situation is not because of the war. Do I even need to respond to that? War. That's what war does. War, like yes, if we could, like if we had, like we could have war and the economy would not be affected. Sure, war brings ruins. Obviously, war ruins an economy, especially if you're losing it, right? So that's a nonsense. This is just a way. This is them just trying to use the government as a scapegoat, and it's also hypocritical, because these are the same people who said, like, yeah, we could take it. We know wars brings economic hardship, but we could take it. Now that they can see that they can't take it, now they're changing the narrative and said they're blaming the government instead of the war.
Donald Trump did say they're taking a pounding like few other can, and I think they're finally giving way to this. Anyway, our next one is going to be this. This is a good point. This is also something that we want to have you guys realize what the Islamic Republic does. This guy's saying, aren't you, the government, trying to scare people with 80 toman gasoline so that they get used to 20 toman gasoline? That's pretty significant. That's saying you guys are threatening the people with extremely high prices so that right now, even with the already high prices, they get scared of even worse things and they accept the status quo at the moment, even though it's terrible. Do you even realize what the consequences of high gasoline prices are? Why don't you understand that we have been crushed and crushed under the burden of high prices? Why don't you understand? Why don't you understand?
You know what why this person is so stupid, Ali? These people think that Pezeshkian is just sitting there, and then he says like, "Hey, I could as easily have cheap gasoline prices, and I have two options, and I could just easily choose between low gasoline prices and high gasoline prices." And I'm just sitting there and let's go with high gasoline prices. As if it's up to him. The reason these people are like, oh, why are you doing this? Are you stupid? No, you idiot. You're the dumb idiot. You're the stupid one. Okay. The reason why gasoline prices in Iran are so low is because they're subsidized. They're subsidized with oil revenue. When there is not oil revenue, they can't get subsidized. What is he going to subsidize those prices with? They're making it seem like they don't understand. This is because of the entire regime. This is because of the Death to America chant that you were chanting for the past 47 years. This is you. You did this. You waging war against America, and now this economic blockade around you. It's not Pezeshkian, it's you. They're all trying to blame Pezeshkian as if he's just making this a decision because he hates them. Because Pezeshkian, like, why are you increasing prices? You shouldn't do that. As if he has any choice. There's not enough revenue to subsidize your fuel prices, you goddamn idiots.
Yep. He's smart enough to realize that he's getting the wool pulled over his eyes, but he's not smart enough to know why. He's like, I'm getting screwed over, but I don't know why.
This is everybody just throwing Pezeshkian under the bus to save the rest of the regime. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
It has
That's by
nothing
design.
to do with him. Yes.
Yeah, that's by design. Yeah. So, oh, by the way, so when we say that's by design, the snake, that is the Islamic Republic, will molt and shed its skin. It'll lose a part of itself on purpose to stay alive. Even if the tail's cut off, as long as the head is there and the body's still there, it's fine. We have our next one. This person is saying, when you go on Instagram and Telegram, they use Telegram in Iran the most. When you go on Instagram and Telegram and become familiar with the culture and mindset of most Iranians, you will see that this government and its policies still have many fans among many Iranians. This is because of the low IQ and intelligence quotient of most Iranians, which is why they cannot analyze issues properly, and that is why they support this government and its policies. So this person is alluding to the fact that perhaps the regime supporters are low IQ.
I think this guy is a regime supporter. Okay, so when they say the government, they're not talking about the regime. So they're talking about Pezeshkian. Okay, so guys, in Iran, the government doesn't actually mean the government. In Iran, the government means the executive branch. Okay, so when you see some people saying like, oh, low IQ people are supporting the government, it's sometimes the hardliners attacking the reformers. Because the reformers are supporting the government, which means the executive branch, and the hardliners hate the current people in power in the executive branch. So attacking the government doesn't really mean attacking the entirety of the Islamic Republic. It means right now it just means attacking the reformers. So this is just a hardliner versus reformer attack, rather than like an anti-regime attack on the regime. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Let me know in the
This
chat.
is a regime supporter attacking other regime supporters, calling them stupid.
Yeah, this is a regime supporter attacking a government supporter, which is not necessarily the same thing.
So many factions. What was that video, by the way, of Ani, you said?
Oh, yes. Do you want to see that?
Yeah. Yeah, while you pull it up, I can show something else.
Okay.
So, guys, quick piece of news before we go back into Iran. You guys may all know Caroline Levitt. I'll actually even bring up the True Social. So, Caroline Levitt, the spokesperson for the White House, is no longer going to be working there. Donald Trump himself announced this earlier today, said that Caroline Levitt will be departing her role at the end of this month so she can spend time with her newborn child and family. And
Maybe.
yeah, but Caroline will still be one of my top outside advisors. So she's still going to provide some sort of, work from home basically. And someone else is going to take over her job. Maybe Scott Besson. He did a good job back in what was it, like
He's
June or
busy.
something? Yeah, he is pretty busy. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What do we got for Akani?
We have Ronnie, our boy, 007 agent. Okay. But look at this. Here he's admitting something. Guys, let me give you context. Okay. I've been telling you for a long time, long time, that the Islamic Republic is fundamentally anti American. Recently, we have been saying it more because so many people in America are now buying this narrative that the Islamic Republic is not anti-American, they're just anti-Israeli, and Israel is dragging United States into a war with the enemy of Israel that is not necessarily the enemy of United States. Yep. And this could not be farther from the truth. And we keep giving you evidence for this, right? We keep telling you that the Islamic Republic waged war against the United States since day one, without Israel or United States doing anything against the Islamic Republic, right? We keep telling you, giving you all the evidence. I grew up in Iran. I saw throughout my childhood in our school books, in our TV, on the walls, paintings on the walls, we had America as the main enemy. Israel was this little Satan, and United States was the big Satan. We were told all the time that one day the Islamic Republic is going to wipe out the United States and bring all of the world into Islam. This was a promise. So we also, and I already mentioned to you guys, that since day one, the Islamic Republic, without any aggression from the United States, decided to go and take over the embassy of United States in Tehran and take the Americans there hostage, right? And declared war against the United States. I also tell you that this was a 3-stage plan from the beginning, even before the Islamic Republic started. Remember, people think that the Islamic Revolution of 1979 was a revolution against Pahlavi. It was not a revolution against Pahlavi. It was a revolution against the Western world order, and the Islamic Republic considered Pahlavi to be part of that, right? Remember, here's my evidence for this. And this is the video from yesterday that shows that we've been telling you the truth, right? I mean, we have like thousands of pieces of evidence, but this is just the most recent one. Like IRGC. Always remember what the I stands for and what the R stands for. In IRGC, I does not stand for Iran. I stands for Islam, because it has never been about Iran. Iran is something you use for the sake of spreading Islam. So keep the I in mind, and then let's look at the R. The R is revolutionary. Why would you be revolutionary if you have already succeeded in your revolution and brought down Pahlavi? Usually you're revolutionary until you topple the government that you're revolutionary against, and then you stop being revolutionary and you end up becoming anti-revolutionary. Why did the Islamic Republic continue to be revolutionary? Because the revolution was never against Pahlavi. The revolution was against the current global world order. This is why the Islam part becomes important. Islam is not just a religion. Islam is a world order. just like communism is a world order. And because Islam is a world order, it does not see itself as competition against Christianity, Judaism, atheism, Buddhism, Hinduism. Islam sees itself in competition with the current dominant world order, which is the Western world order that started with the American Revolution, not the French Revolution, the American Revolution, became dominant in the West after the Second World War, and became dominant, the nation state model, the framework of the Western world order, the nation state model became the dominant model of politics and governance after the Cold War everywhere in the world. That's what the Islamic Republic is trying to, that's what Islam is trying to dismantle, because Islam always sees itself as in war against any world order that is not Islam. And the Islamic Republic is just a continuation of that. So the goal of the Islamic Revolution was to first bring down Pahlavi in Iran. That's phase one, to use Iran's resources to spread Islam, their Islam, in the Middle East and North Africa. And then to take out, that was phase one. The phase two, and Pahlavi was an extension of the current global order, Western global order. And then phase two is to remove Israel from the Middle East, to be able to then take all of the Middle East and North Africa and use its resources to create a powerful pan-Islamic Shia empire as a political bloc against the West, in the same way that the Soviet Union was. And then eventually take down the United States as the head of the current, as the head and the current guarantor of the current existing Western global order, or what Western values, Enlightenment values, classical liberal values, whatever you want to call it, and make the whole world Islamic. And that's why communist and Islamic forces work with each other in the past couple of decades. You see them work with each other because both of them are against the current Western world order, and they call it Western imperialism. They have the same goal. They want to bring their own world order, and the current existing dominant world order is in their way. So that's what's happening. So phase one, remove Pahlavi, gain Iran, use Iran, spend Iran. Phase two, remove Israel. Israel is in the way. It's blocking their plans from getting to the United States. Phase three is to get rid of the United States and basically take over the world. So here's a short clip from Ghani.
مسیری که شهدا طی می‌کردند همه هدف‌های مقطعی بوده.
So he's saying all the martyrs, the path that they were taking, every single goal that they had was a period, like it was an intermediate goal. It wasn't the ultimate goal.
اگر یک روزی شعار برادران ما در دوره دفاع مقدس رسیدن به کربلا بود، کربلا هدف نهایی نبود، هدف واسط بود.
So for example, in the 8-year war with Iraq, if sometimes some of our chants were saying that we will capture Karbala, Karbala was not the ultimate goal. Karbala was the intermediate goal.
امروز اگر شعار رسیدن به قدس شریف هست که به حول و قوه الهی انشاءالله میرسیم، باز این هم هدف مقطعی هست. هدف نهایی ما در این مرحله از عملیات رسیدن به حکومت جهانی حضرت مهدی و رسیدن به محضر مبارک امام زمان سلام الله علیه است.
So he's saying, just like that, if today we're chanting that we will liberate Jerusalem, that is not our ultimate goal. We will one day liberate Jerusalem. By the way, guys, by liberating Jerusalem, they mean that they're going to basically take all of Israel and commit genocide and make it all Palestine. It's like, if today we say that we're going to liberate Jerusalem, that is not our ultimate goal, even though we will do that. We will liberate Jerusalem one day. But our ultimate goal is total global domination of the Mahdi's government, That is the ultimate goal. So when I tell you that these are their goals, it's not theory. Okay, this guy is the head of the Quds army. This guy is the replacement of Qasem Soleimani. These are their goals, and they are public about it. So whenever you hear somebody in the United States saying like, "Oh, Islamic Republic had nothing to do with us. This is just a Middle Eastern problem. Israel is dragging us into this." They never stop telling you that their goal is ultimately total global domination. They always say that. And I don't know why you don't. I don't know why some people don't believe them.
So let me get one thing straight. This guy just said we're going to kill everyone, right? Because what he's saying is we got to take over the world. But then Islam, their version, or actually, well, generally, Islam says if people don't believe in Islam, kill them. So, guys, they're going to take over the world. And if you don't want to convert to Islam, gotcha. People just don't take it seriously. You're right. People never took this seriously, ever. So stupid. We have a couple updates for you guys. So apparently today,
somebody's saying because it's not possible. Yeah, I agree. They're not going to be successful. But when that is the goal, that means United States is the target. Okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't. They don't have to be able to be successful in world domination to be a huge problem, to kill a lot of people, right? So here's the thing: these people are making biological weapons. Okay, so maybe they will never get world domination, but one day they're gonna have sleeper cells in all over the United States, people carrying diseases with them to do something like 10 times more devastating or 1,000 times more devastating than COVID and spread that all over the US. So maybe they're not going to get world domination, but they are a problem that needs to be eliminated.
Also, I think it's really funny that Mr. Ghani here is speaking when the most famous martyrs of the Islamic Republic are on the screens behind him. He should have been on that list 9 times or 10 times or however many times he survived the United States and Israel going for his head. It's a little funny to me. So we'll give you guys a quick Texas update. Unfortunately today, very unfortunately today, the United States military suffered a couple of losses in Texas. So according to CNN, a United States Army helicopter, I think it was Apache, crashed in Texas today as part of a training exercise. Both pilots did not survive. Unfortunate. Very sad. May they rest in peace, and thank you for your service, soldiers. Going up into Russia. Let's take a look at what the Ukrainians are up to. If you guys want to see some footage from inside the cockpit of a fighter jet intercepting a Russian missile, let's take a look. And there you go. That's what it looks like when you fire an interceptor missile and take out a Russian, I believe that was a drone there. I think that was pretty cool.
Can you see it again?
Yeah, look at it. On the right side was boom, interceptor missile going flying in, hit the Russian drone. Pretty cool. So speaking of the Ukrainians, they conducted some massive operations last night here in the Russian port of, let me try this, Novorossiysk. This port is Russia's major port, and it was largely untouched. Well, no longer. I'll show you guys what happened over the skies of Novorossiysk last night. This is what it looked like. Mute this as well. Take a look. It's Disneyland. Except they start shooting into the air. And those are all tracer rounds attempting to fire at the Ukrainian drones, which were launched in probably the hundreds. Zelensky himself has posted a video about this. Let's take a look at what he says. So, the Ukrainians, attacked Novorossiysk. It's a Russian port, their naval base, and their last major stronghold of the Russian fleet in the Black Sea. It's about 300 kilometers from the front lines. We pulverized it. Let's take a look. So look at all that. And the day afterwards as well, you can see that the port has been pulverized and still on fire. The Russians. It's not really going too well for them. Again, they're still on track to completely collapse within months at this point. And at this point, they're resorting to sending tankers through the Arctic. For the first time ever, a Russian tanker has taken a very northernmost route to get to China. That is what they're being forced to do at the moment. Keep in mind, the reason they don't do this is because the ships will literally freeze up and you can't move. You just wake up and you're landlocked in ice. Looks like they got to start doing it a bit more from now on. Not doing too well. They're doing horribly. They're doing incredibly bad. So, as well as, let's show this as well. So, here is United Arab Emirates. These are the most recent satellite images we can get. And on the bottom right, you can see that there's a few aircraft there. This was previously completely empty as of a couple days ago. Got this satellite image. The United States is moving back in to the United Arab Emirates. They're moving back into Qatar. They're repopulating their bases right next to Iran with more refueling tankers and jets. Why is that? Simple. Going back to combat operations with the Islamic Republic, we want to be closer, we want to be ready. But also, what I believe is happening is that the United Arab Emirates is playing both sides. On one hand, they're paying the Islamic Republic money to leave them alone. On the other hand, they're allowing the United States to move back in with its troops and forces into the UAE. They want US protection, and they're going to pay the Islamic Republic to not get hit, or at least get hit less. So these are the refueling tankers that are probably conducting operations over the Persian Gulf at the moment to get ships across, which, quick side note, the Energy Secretary of the United States, Chris Wright, we showed you guys his statement yesterday. We kind of criticized it, or at least I did, because he said that there's 15 million barrels per day moving out of the Middle East at the moment. And that's a large number. So keep in mind, before the war, it was 20 million barrels per day. He's saying we're at 15 right now, 75% of the capacity. So we only took a 25% hit. I don't know about that. But enough people clowned on him that he had to come out with another statement today and said, guys, I was telling the truth. A lot of these ships are just not turning on their transponders and moving through, as if that was new information. Yeah. We'll see. The oil markets are starting to creep back up again. We're approaching that range where something needs to happen to drive prices back down. Again, China is not letting prices go back down. They're buying as much as they can. They're encouraging the higher prices. We'll see what happens. Something has to happen soon. And last time I said that, something happened, I think, the day after. But I think we're approaching that threshold again. Last time the price of oil hit 100, and I was like, okay, something has to happen in the next 24 hours, and it did. I think we're back at, let me just check. We're in the high 80s, or are we in the low 90s? Okay, fell $1. Or actually, it's stabilized. So it was 89 yesterday. We're at 88 today. Same thing. Yeah. So let's showcase one of Iran's most beautiful landscapes, which happens to be on Keshm Island. This is the Strait of Hormuz, which is currently black with oil and washing up all along the shores of Keshm Island. This is the Hara Mangrove Forest. It's a protected area, and it's one of the most beautiful places in the Persian Gulf. Let me show you guys what this looks like. This is what it looks like. And we have a problem. Problem is not very simple. The problem is that areas like this are now being washed black with oil. So this is what it looks like down on the ground level. And you can imagine there is oil seeping into this natural habitat, which is one of the last reserves for a lot of the wildlife in this area, shelter from heat, good water source, etc., etc. Yeah, it's not looking too good. And the Islamic Republic has sent some people, along with some companies and just regular people who are trying to go in and cleaning up this oil. This is a video of such a person taking on this endeavor, and this is their plan. I'm not sure if this is the best plan in the world, but it's a plan. It's better than nothing. So they took these napkins, yes, napkins, and they're going to dump them on the oil, which is washing up on the shores. So let's take a look here. This is what's happening. You can see he's putting these down, and they're immediately just turning black and brown from the oil here. Really tragic sight. Yeah, I'm not like quite certain how much good this is gonna do, but it's better than nothing. So yeah. Again, let me just show you guys. This is what they're doing.
This is horrible.
There's got to be a better way than this, no? Like, just dropping napkins on the water. I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's just not efficient. I wish there was a better way.
Wait, I don't think they're doing anything. I don't think they're putting the napkins. I think they're just. Wait, really? They're using that as a cleaning method?
Yeah. Yeah, because it takes the oil from the water. But again, I mean,
seems like
incredibly inefficient. Yeah.
They're trying okay, that makes no sense. Nobody is
I know. That's what I'm saying.
No,
it's better than nothing.
That must have a different. I mean, no, it's not better than nothing. It's actually that's the one time I see something that is worse than nothing. There must be a different reason they're doing. Okay, there must be something else to it. Nobody's that stupid.
Maybe it's a political message.
I think they must be like collecting data or something regarding, like maybe those napkins are just collecting the oil so they could take it in a lab and research something, because there's no way that's their. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
There's no way. Nobody's that stupid. Yeah, I mean, guys, come on. I've seen stupid. That is.
People are saying yes, they are that stupid.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Not that.
So
maybe they're just trying to go measure the level of toxicity, or
I don't know.
I don't know, something like that. I hope so. Come on.
I don't know. I mean, they were just dumping them in a black trash bag, so I'm not sure there was much strategy to that. If I was collecting samples, I'd be putting them in very clean containers that wouldn't contaminate it with anything else, so I could go actually test what I grabbed, not dumping it in the sand. And I don't know, but I think it was just a political message. It'd probably just being like, hey guys, we're cleaning, look at us, we're doing it.
There's no way. Oh, I got a gold trophy. Thank you.
Yay. Do you guys remember the Beaufort that the Israelis took? It's an old medieval castle. Yeah, well, some of it doesn't really exist anymore. The IDF blew it up. Some of the tunnels underneath the Beaufort Ridge don't exist anymore. In addition to the IDF conducting airstrikes all of tonight on southern Lebanon, pretty extensive actually. So there we go. Yep. All right, guys. Let's see what Bill Kennedy has to say. It says, thank you for the super chat, by the way. It says Israel should help people with regime change. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Israel is definitely helping. They've been helping. I mean, that's been their goal. That's why they're the closest aligned goal-wise with the Iranian people. Why the Iranian people love them so much. Remember, not 100% aligned. Maybe like 80, 90, something like that.
The most aligned to. I would say there are no two nations that are more aligned with each other than the Iranian nation and the Israeli nation. I would say that.
Thank Bill Kennedy. Thank you, Bill Kennedy, who also enjoyed Allegrams today a lot, apparently. Appreciate the super chat. And EHEF saying, it's fascinating. We spent decades in the Middle East fighting terrorists, only for some of them to turn and fight with us in a matter of months. How the wind blows. I mean, look at the president of Syria. This guy used to cut heads off. And then he's in the Oval Office shaking hands with Donald Trump a few years later. It's amazing where you can, where you come from, I guess, doesn't matter anymore. Let's just say that. Thank you, EHEF.
Things change fast.
Yeah. And Tikwa saying, Adi, in the Middle Ages, Santur came from Iran to Switzerland. We call it Hakbret. And whenever I hear it, I almost cry because it sounds so much like home. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad you like it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, I'm going to learn a new song, and I'll play that for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Hope you like
That's
it.
because he's doing that because of me. Okay, remember that.
That's my punishment. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Tikwa. Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
And BT saying, where is the Quran licking emoji? You used to have that?
Oh, yes. Oh my God, yeah. I don't know, because I thought because Susie's not here, and I thought people would be confused of what that is. So I should have, because I'm sad now. Now that BT said, that made me sad. But we're gonna come up with one day, coming up with emojis based on me, Ali, maybe the monkey. I don't know. Guy. We need to make more emojis based on.
Oh
yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, BT. Hope you're doing well. Moved in. And Finestras is saying and it's saying, when did Trump become the new Jimmy Carter? Iran has been a problem for over 50 years. Okay. He is Vancified. Yeah, he did say that, didn't he? Was it a Truth Social post? I forget. Or was it a statement? He said the Islamic Republic or Iran has been a problem for 50 years, when the Islamic Republic has only been there for 47.
Okay, so here's a controversy, guys. Help us figure this out, okay? So President Trump has said that Iran. Oh no, I want you to hear this. Okay, I'll wait for you to come back.
Okay, say it and then I'll go.
Yeah, I need you to respond to it as well. So President Trump twice said that Iran has not been a problem for 47 years. It's been a problem for 51 years. Okay, so it's 48 years to be actually, right? And when he said 51 years, that is the 3 last years of Mohammad Reza Shah in power. Okay? So some Iranians are saying, why is he saying 51 years? Why is he counting? Why is he saying Iran has been a problem to the United States? And he's including the last 3 years of Mohammad Reza Shah in power. And some Iranians are saying, like, maybe he doesn't like Pahlavi as well, because those 3 years was also the 3 years that Mohammad Reza Shah was not giving in to U.S. demand to lower oil prices. And again, I'm not saying this. Some Iranians are saying that maybe this is why he's not endorsing Prince Reza Pahlavi, because he sees Pahlavi as also a problem, because Mohammad Reza Shah, even though he was a great ally of the United States, those last few years he was pushing back against Americans' demand to lower oil prices, and maybe Trump doesn't like that either. Some people are suggesting. But I don't know. Either some people are saying, like, if he's not doing that, that's even worse, because, like, why is he, like, does he just not know that it's not 51 years and he's just repeating a number that makes no sense? So why is he doing that? And
I think it's on
I know,
purpose.
I know. It's on purpose. Okay. Why?
I think it's on. I mean, he said 47 years 100 times. So for him to say 51, it's definitely on purpose. But as to if he didn't like the Pahlavi not giving in, or if he meant like the Islamists who were acting in the last few years of Muhammad,
No, he
I don't
said
know.
Iran was the problem, not the terror, like that, not the. Okay, and if he's talking about the mullahs in Iran who's against the Shah, well, they were a problem way before the last 3 years of Muhammad Reza Shah.
Yeah.
Right? He can't be talking about that because that started way ahead. Like that started from Mossadegh, which was way before. So it wasn't 51 years. It has to be longer than 51 years. So just 51 years doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
And he
So
said it twice.
so that is probably, I mean, that's alluding to the regime in power at the time, the government in power. So yeah,
Well, no,
Pahlavi.
somebody's saying. So no. Somebody's saying, can we chill about the 50 years? Trump being a ballpark correct? No, he didn't. If he said 50, that would seem like a ballpark. But he didn't say 50. He said 51, and he specifically said it's not 47 years. Everybody says it's 47 years, but it's actually 51. So he was very specific. He didn't say like rounding it to 50. He wasn't rounding 47 to 50. He said people say 47. 47 is a wrong number. It's actually 51. That's what he said, which makes no sense. Why? And he said that he did that twice, which makes no sense.
Yeah. So he said things against Pahlavi before.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have a choice. Sorry, I mean,
he does have the choice.
He doesn't have a choice as to who becomes the next government or who leads the next government in Iran. He has no choice in that. It's going to be Pahlavi whether he likes it or not.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't get to decide.
Again, I don't know. I'm not saying the theory is true. I'm just saying it's just odd.
Yeah,
like that he's keeps talking about this 51 number.
Yeah. Well, first of all, like no one would decide what the Iranian people choose, and second, I think the MEK are going to love that. The MEK are going to push that as much as they can.
See if I have to. Maybe I could just play the video, the second one for you guys. I think I have it.
But I mean, I'll be more interested if he says something more. Like if he says 51 years, I'll be like, okay, whatever, man, annoying comment. But if he says something more detailed than that, yeah, that'll probably be indicative. But again, I mean, the United States has the best possible choice, its best possible ally. There is no one else. He can make those comments if he chooses to. Eventually, he's going to have to open up to the idea that Prince Reza Pahlavi is the only option.
Okay, I got the video here, because you shouldn't trust me, because sometimes you might have false memory. Let's see if I was somewhat accurate in my description of what you said. Okay, look at this.
I don't trust Iran. Why? Are you saying I trust Iran? I'm the last person to trust Iran. They've lied to me constantly. We have total control over the Hormuz Strait right now. They don't have control. We have total control. We own it. And at some point, maybe they'll do something and then they get blown away. But we're in a very good position. We have a country that has been the bully of the Middle East for 50 years. It's really 51 if you think about it, right? We've been saying 47 for 4 years. And they're no longer the bully of the Middle East. Thank you very much, everybody.
So 51 if you think about it. We have been saying 47 for 4 years. We haven't been saying 47 for 4 years. 4 years ago, we were saying 44.
He sounded really angry, by the way. And it wasn't fake anger. Like, so he was actually very annoyed, in a very bad mood. I wonder what got him so pissed off.
Okay, Ali, if you need to go to do,
Yeah, I'll be right
I
back.
think you need to go. Yeah, you too. I think he needs a washroom break.
Do you mind
Sorry,
reading
Ali.
a few? No worries.
Yes. Yeah. By the way, guys, I'm not giving any reasons for why he's saying that. Like, I don't know, right? I'm not coming up with any theories. If I told you what the theories are, those are just I'm sorry. Those are other people's theories, not my theory. I'm just telling you. I don't know what the answer is. It's just kind of strange. Right? Maybe he just lost track of time. Then why is he being so specific about it? Like, why is he being like, not 50? If you think about it, 51. Like, it's not like, if he just said 51 and he just moved on, you're like, okay, maybe he's not like, he's like, if you 51, if you think about it. It sounds like something you put some thought into. Oh, here, Ali's back.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Let's wait and see if he makes some other statements like that. It did seem like he was pretty annoyed. And Tikwa says, Armin, I gave Ali a super chat because of the sand tour. To be fair, I'll give you one too because you are amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, get the pity super chat. Yeah.
No, okay, let me translate this. Armin, we know you're talentless, but that's okay. Here's some super chat. I'm just kidding. Thank you.
Thank you,
I appreciate that.
Appreciate
Thank
that.
you so much.
And I'm your sensei says, why you guys never cover the Russia versus Ukraine war? We do, in the sense that it relates to Iran, but instead of going into the nitty gritty of that, like the intricacies of it, we just don't have enough time. The program would be like 4 hours long. But everything that relates to Iran, like the gas prices, the oil, any cool clips that we see from the war, any significant parts, we cover that. Yeah. But thank you for the super chat. And Fenestras is saying, and no, it wasn't a mistake. He has said 47 years all this time. Why the change? Please do not say MEK. Yeah, I don't think he's going to support. I don't think he's going to.
The answer is we don't know.
Yeah. I mean, what a
I don't know.
blunder.
I'm being honest. I don't know. I'm confused. Why do you think?
I genuinely think he was just in a bad mood and he was pissed off.
I don't come up with random new numbers when I'm in a bad mood, Ali. Like, I don't, that doesn't explain it.
I know, but that's just what I think. My instinct is telling me that. Thank you, Fenestras. Was not a mistake. Jets is saying, keep up the good work, Ali. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Jets.
Thank you.
Awesome
Jets.
profile pic as always. Armin, how am I doing? How am I doing over the let's do our 90-day review. It's been 96 days.
You have been beyond exceptional. It's been too good. It seems like it's getting a bit suspicious. It seems like you have been engineered for this job, like pre-engineered and designed to do this perfectly. That's how good you are, which is kind of scary.
It's great.
Yeah.
Guys, so thank you so much, Jets. And guys, I have a goal. I'm aiming to get to like 10,000 subscribers or as close as possible by my birthday, which is October 31st. So we have 2.5 months.
Oh, yes, guys, let's make Ali's birthday a wish come true. Okay, I'll put the link to his channel in the chat. Okay, guys, we're trying to make Ali. There we go.
We're gonna get there. I feel like we're gonna get pretty close. So hopefully that happens. Thank you for the super chat. Our next one is from Fizz Endricist saying Durud Dustan. Hey, Durud.
Durud.
Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you.
Hope you're doing well. And Jets with the confetti. Thank you so
Woo!
much.
That's when you won, right? Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Finestros also saying confetti. Thank you.
Wait, Finestros was on your side. the the one person that I did not expect.
There we go.
The Salt Queen.
There we
herself.
go. And you know what actually happened was that Physengicist, one of my core supporters, actually went to your channel and gave you a super chat as a peace offering.
Oh, thank you, Physengicist.
You know, that's
I need
pretty
that
crazy.
because my heart is broken. So thank you, Alex.
See, guys, it's all fair and balanced. See what I mean? Thank you, Fizz. Appreciate that. And Fit Over 50, thank you for the jewels.
Thank you.
BT, thank you for the jewels.
Oh, BT June, thank you.
BT June. And Nail Bunny.
Nail Bunny.
There it is. The 5 Liberty
Thank
Politics
you.
memberships gift. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nail Bunny.
Appreciate you. And Finestros is saying, Armin, I'm so sorry for your loss in the super chat race. As punishment, maybe you should get some rest.
You know, get some rest means that I shouldn't show up for a live stream. You guys just don't want to be here. That's what you guys. You guys want to just have the stream with Ali by himself.
So,
me.
guys, what should Armin's punishment be? It's something he has to say, and he can say it here, and nothing crazy, right? Like we can't profane, like hate speech or anything like that, but just like something as a punishment for him to say. Thank you, Finestros, for the super chat.
Thank you.
And Nail Bunny is saying 434 watching and 147 likes. Please like the stream. Yeah,
Nail
please
Bunny
like the
would
stream.
never abandon me. Even the Salt Queen abandoned me, but not Nail Bunny. And thank you. Yes, and Nail Bunny, guys, please like the stream. Thank you to everybody who's liking the stream. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Nail Bunny, who also said, likes feed the YouTube algorithm, gremlins. And
yes, it does.
Nail Bunny also said, we need confetti.
Oh, confetti.
Boom.
Yes.
5 super chats in a row.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Nail Bunny. Very kind of you.
Oh, thank
Appreciate
you.
that. And we have
Oh,
Condovo.
wait.
Oh.
Wait. The Salt Queen is saying, hey, I haven't abandoned you. Okay. My heart is fixed. Didn't she give a super chat on your side? Okay. No,
Yeah.
maybe a mistake. Oh, she did.
She's back on your channel. Okay, whatever.
Yes, she's back. She's
All
back.
right.
It's okay. I got her back. It's fine.
And Condovo says the Islamic Republic wants to focus on Gaza and Lebanon. Now Western media wants to focus on the evil Jews in Judea, Samaria. Israelis have mass PTSD over Gaza, while the Islamic Republic and the West are in a pincer movement against them. So yeah, the West is the Western media. Interesting, right, Armin? As soon as Rezai, now the head of the Supreme National Security Council, technically number 2 person in charge, is saying, yeah, Gaza, Lebanon, we got to step up, go back to Gaza and Lebanon. We, the Islamic Republic. Media is like, oh my God, the Jews. Yes, we forgot about them. But hey, apparently the Jews control the media. Am I right, guys?
Gaza is just the code for the global resistance against the West. Gaza is not about Gaza. It's basically the new realignment of all the forces to get the axis of resistance back together again. And that's why they're talking about Gaza.
Yeah. Great point, Condovo. Great point as always. Thank you very much. And Finestros is saying confetti. Oh,
confetti.
She went on your chat as well and said confetti. Oh, she's double timing.
By the way, yes. By the way, I didn't actually answer her question. So, Finestros, I did actually take extra sleep. So thank you for being so caring for my rest. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so
and
much.
Thank you.
You definitely need that.
You guys are so sweet.
And
I'm joking, by the way, with this whole abandoning thing. These are jokes, okay? I just want to say I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not going to abandon Armin here, right, guys? That would be ridiculous.
Yes.
Thank you, Navy Mom, for the jewels. And Hooly Dooley says these alligrams are gold.
Gold.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And Gabriella with the 250 joules, laughing disco. Thank you. AP Moto Arts with the super chat saying Trump put out another praise be to Allah. Let's hear it, Armin.
Praise be to Allah. Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
I'll pull it up.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Let's see here. So it was earlier today, and oh, nope, that's about daylight savings. Oh my God, he went on like a posting spree today. How much am I gonna have to scroll? Okay. Anyway.
How does he have time to post all of this?
Wow, that is a lot of posts. Holy moly. Can I just search for this? I mean, praise? Nope. Yeah, okay. Holy crap. He posted at least 50 posts in the last hour. Okay, there it is. I finally found it. Oh my God. Got some time on his hands.
He does say he makes
All
his
right.
own posts.
So we got, the USA has total control over the Strait of Hormuz. Our blockade's the best. Nothing Iran can do about it. They got no money, 300% inflation, et cetera, et cetera. Bully of the Middle East. Heard all that before. Iran is all talk and no action. The bully of the Middle East no longer. Praise be to Allah, President Donald J. Trump.
Praise be to Allah.
Yep. So he literally he's sitting in his Oval Office and he dictates to like some intern who writes these for him and then goes in ChatGPT and generates the images.
He said he posts them himself. I don't know which one's.
I mean, he also said he tells his assistant to like he dictates to his assistant. So I guess that is posting himself technically. Thank you, AP Moto Arts. There you go. And thank you, Nyla, for the jewels.
Thank you, Nyla.
Wes Downer with the super chat saying their quote unquote plan still isn't clear to me. Is it anything like the underpants gnome strategy?
Oh, wait, is that from South Park? The gnomes that steal your underpants?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I don't know how that translates into military and intelligence operations. But all I know is some gnomes come into your home and steal your underwear.
So there's people making analysis of this. It's like, so obviously the gnomes have to know what underpants they're going to sell before stuff. Okay, anyway. So the gnomes are you, the underpants are the product, and the people are the consumers. Okay. Yeah, I don't know their plan either in terms of gnome talk.
Okay.
That's doing a number on my brain, actually. Stop it, Wes. Thank you for the super chat, though.
Oh, that's Israel's plan for world domination. That's what he's saying. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much. Take over the world, kill everyone. Yep.
And steal your underwear.
Yeah. And thank you, BT, and BT for the 200 joules. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you, BT June.
And CJ says Putin will never end the war. Any quote-unquote settlement would be seen as a loss for him. Same for Iran. No rules-based order anymore. Only winner takes all.
See,
yeah,
this is what people have to realize. It makes no sense to make a deal with Putin. It makes no sense to make a deal with the Ayatollahs. Any deal you make with Putin, he will eventually violate it. Any deal you make with the Ayatollahs, they will eventually violate it. Putin is hell-bent on, his mind is set on expansionism, and nothing is going to change his mind. The Ayatollah's mind is set on expansionism, and nothing is going to change their mind. Negotiations with either one is for them to buy time to recover so that they could fight another day. In those senses, they're exactly the same. Both don't trust Putin. I mean, don't trust anybody. Trust Putin. Trust Putin and trust the Ayatollahs. Trust that Putin will violate any deal that you make with him. Trust the Ayatollahs that they will violate any deals that you would make with them. You could trust them on this.
It's actually in their theology. You're not worthy to be dealing with them. So whatever deal they make with you, the infidel, is actually invalid from the get-go. They don't have to follow it. Yikes. But hey, whatever. Thank you, CJ. Completely agree.
Thank you.
And Herschel, thank you for the jewels and the GOAT trophy.
Oh,
best
GOAT
one.
trophy. That's my
Thank
favorite one. Thank you, guys.
Ariksan says you can use the napkins to burn or build. Oh, Molos. Okay,
nope,
I see.
Nope. Okay, guys,
see.
be careful.
Right.
Careful.
Thank you, Ariksan. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, we can all enjoy a
nothing
good
weird
drink.
happening.
Like a tea.
Yes.
A tea. Okay, thank you.
A mojito.
Abandoned, delete. Guy, we do not endorse violence or anything like that. Thank you for the super chat.
And Flying Robot Duck, thank you for the jewels.
Thank you.
All gas, no brakes with it. Thank you for the jewels as well.
Thank you.
Nyla says, Armin, did you try the vinegar? XO.
I put some vinegar on my salad. So, yes. And thank you. Thank you, Nyla.
Thank you, Nyla, for your concern. Sarah Yu says, Grok saying he changed to 51 years when he started talking about damages done by the IRGC in August 2026.
There was no IRGC 51 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and he didn't say that. He didn't. He didn't mention IRGC. He mentioned Iran.
Yeah.
He did mention IRGC, but then when he said that they have been a problem, he said Iran, which was weird. Yeah, I don't get it.
Hey, thank you, Sarah, you for checking though. Appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Yeah, that's good information.
And AP Moto Art says bacteria eats oil spills. Birds need bathing for sure, but oil is food for bacteria. Well, the oil doesn't just affect birds bathing. It's all the fish. It's all the coral, everything under the water that is severely polluted. I mean, fish breathe with water. It's not really, it's really bad for them. Less fish, less fishing. Anyway, but you're right. Let's get the bacteria.
And also, by the way, the oil spills. The oil spills also another reminder is going to, if it gets worse, it's going to make it impossible for the water desalination facilities to bring the level of toxicity is going to make it impossible for the water desalination facilities in the area to work if it gets really bad, which means millions of people in the area are going to not have drinking water, and we're going to see one of the greatest mass exodus of people from a region in history. So you have to worry about that.
Something just came across my desk as a little update here. There's a job opportunity if any of you guys want it. The United States Embassy in Kabul, Afghanistan, seeks a public engagement assistant. So if you would like to make your way over to Kabul, Afghanistan, I'm just kidding. But our next one is from Viltrum. Oh, do you watch Invincible? Saying, you're overthinking. He thinks we've been saying 47 years since 2021. So he's just adding 5 years.
Okay, but that's even worse. Like, we haven't been saying 47 since 2021. I mean, it's an easy thing to check when the Islamic Republic came into power. So why does he think that we have been saying 47 years since 2021? Where did that come from?
Yeah, let's see if he keeps on saying it.
And he said it a while back ago, and nobody corrected him until now, and he said it again.
Yeah. Thank you, Viltrum, for the super chat. Bill Moore says Trump can't be seen as installing the Shah because of the past choices of our government. It has to be the Iranians' choice. Yeah, I mean,
so two things. He doesn't. He doesn't. He's the Iranian people. First of all, nobody's installing a Shah. Neither the Iranian people. Iranian people will eventually choose a Shah once we have a referendum. Right now, the Iranian people have chosen the leader of the revolution and the leader of the transitional government. The Shah thing comes way down the road, right? And the Iranian people have already made clear the decision is. So nobody is installing anything. The Iranian people have already made it clear who they have picked. But it would be the right strategy now and for a while now for President Trump to recognize the Iranian people's choice. Recognizing the Iranian people have made a choice is not installing a Shah, is recognizing who is the leader of the revolution that we are in. If you say, well, people are going to say this or that, people already say those things. People already say those things, and the people who are going to say that, they're not waiting for President Trump to make a statement. They are already making those claims. That so it doesn't matter what those people say. They're already leftist. The leftists and the Islamically minded jihadis are already anti-Pahlavi. So are we going to not do the right thing because they're going to say this and that, like as if anything is stopping them right now? The Iranian people have made their choice. It is clear that Princess of Pahlavi is the direct choice of the Iranian people. It's time for the world to recognize that. And it's time for President Trump to also recognize that. I don't buy these excuses that it's going to look like he's installing the Shah. It's not going to look like that unless you're retarded. And if you are, then I'm not you, like those people. And if you are, who gives a crap?
Thank you, Bill Moore, for the super chat.
Thank you. Great point. Yeah, great point to discuss.
And Tikwa is saying, no, Armin, you are amazing.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
I think
thank you.
You guys should be more appreciative of Armin.
I think you guys are plenty appreciative. I'm getting too much praise, honestly. Maybe we should tone it down.
I think, we
don't
should
let it get to my head.
Let's get behind Armin a little bit more.
No, okay.
And, support his side project here, which is you should subscribe to me because that's actually
guys, the best way to support
him.
me is to support Ali.
Yeah.
Not a side project. Come on.
Thank you, Tikwa. And Nacho Jimenez says, bad history math. 4 years saying 47 is 51. That's it. 4 years saying 41 is 50. Oh, he's saying that he's been saying 47 years for the duration of 4 years. So just added on and said 51. But he's been saying 47 years like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So
we haven't been saying 47 for 4 years. So it might be bad math. We haven't been saying, 4 years ago we were saying 44, and now we're supposed to be saying 48. So, I mean, if it's bad math, why is nobody correcting him? He's been saying 51 for a while now.
Yeah. Thank you, Nacho. And Redneck Jeep. Yeah. And Redneck Jeep saying, don't expect Trump to support His Royal Highness. He left the socialist in charge of Venezuela and ignored the election results. First, thank you, Redneck Jeep, for your concern. Appreciate it. And we don't have to worry about that. We don't need him to support His Royal Highness Reza Pahlavi to be victorious. It would help, but we don't need it.
I mean, we do kind of need it. I mean, we will win regardless, but we kind of do. It will save thousands of people's lives because it would reduce our cost. If he does,
he doesn't have a choice. Our dear president, quite frankly, doesn't have any other options. You have the MEK, or you have Prince Reza Pahlavi. That's the American view. You have an Islamist terrorist cult, communist as well, or you have a America-loving Prince Principality. Thank you, Redneck Jeep, for the concern. And AP Moto Art says his quote was, people have been saying 47 years for like 4 years or so. It's more like 50 or 51 now. Where do you say that?
Yeah, that's wrong. Yeah, he said that, but that's kind of like, no, he said it's more like 50, but 51, if you actually think about it, if you put some thoughts into it, it would be 51. And if you actually do put your thought into it, then it's nobody would get 51. And people have not been saying 47 for 4 years. They haven't.
Wait, so he did say that?
Well, the more accurate version would be, okay, I mean, I played it. He said 51 if you think about it.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you, AP Mode Arts. And thank you.
Guys, people in the chat are saying way overthinking. I'm just responding to the super chats. Okay.
Thank you, Seymour.
Guys, this could be just a miscalculation, but it's a miscalculation that is causing a lot of concern. So somebody should correct him.
Oh, I think someone just said something here. Where'd it go? Chris Waters is saying he's referring to Carter winning the election in 75, and it was during his presidency that we saw the revolution happen.
He said Iran. I mean, do you want me to play it again? I think you guys are trying to. You guys are overthinking this.
Yeah.
I think you guys are overthinking this. He's not talking. He didn't talk about. Yeah, he wasn't talking about Carter. He said Iran has been bullying the problem. Iran has been the bully, for not Carter. So you guys saying we're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. I think you guys are trying to find excuses for a mistake. It was a mistake.
No, it was a mistake. I just want to see him say a little bit more about it so we can understand why he's saying it. We don't have to speculate at that point. Thank you, Seymour, for the jewels. Appreciate that. And we have a great message here from S. Carter saying, I think Armin is the most humble, grateful, and knowledgeable person I've ever met. Never change.
Thank you. I started that. That was sweet.
Thank you, S. Carter.
Thank you.
And Curtis West says, why has the regime not attacked Israel? It's not a question. I just want Armin's answer. Love you both.
Well, because they know, because they are scared, because they're terrified, because every night these people have nightmares about what Israel did to them in the 40-day war. While the United States was destroying military bases and IRGC bases and Basiji bases, and Israel was doing and ships and planes and air defense, Israel was doing some of that and hunting these people individually. These people could not understand, they know where we are, no matter how much we hide, no matter where we go, no matter how deep our holes are, they find us and they reach us. Like, they hear what we're saying, they know what we're doing, they know where we're going to be. They arrange, let me tell you this, they arrange meetings for us. Israel arranges meetings for us, and we show up in the meetings that was arranged by Israel. And then for us to be all in one place to bomb. Did you guys know that? Israel planned the meeting for IRGC leaders, for all of them to show up and to bomb. And not only that, when most of them show up, they still didn't bomb them because they had real-time information that one person was late. So they waited for that. That's how accurate the information was. They had real-time, second-by-second information that one person has not arrived. So they waited for that person to also arrive before they bombed them. Do you understand how terrifying this is? So they're like, let's not mess with Israel. They're like, if at least when the United States bomb something, they bomb something that is not our lives. Like, if we don't, like, they kill some Basijis and some IRGC bases. We're not there. Somebody else is there. Israel comes for us directly and hunts us down. The decision makers get killed when Israel gets involved. So they're terrified. They're like, okay, let's not give them an excuse to get in, because they know Israel is itching to get in. They're like, let us in. Islamic Republic, let us in. Any excuses? We're waiting for an invitation. And they're like, okay, no, we're good. We're good. Let's just bomb Kuwait. Let's bomb Bahrain. Like, let's not give them an excuse. That's why.
There we go, Curtis. And thank you for the super chat.
Thank you.
Leo says, thank you for everyone who's liked the stream. For those who haven't, I'm giving you the death stare. It's a good idea.
Thank you.
You guys should probably
Thank you,
now
Leo.
like the stream. Thank you, Leo. And Bill Kennedy says, how much time for the IRGC to rebuild their military or nukes? I would estimate their nuclear program, if we backed off, probably like 3-4 years to build a nuke. And then for the military, it's going to be, I mean, what kind of a military? Like asymmetric tactics or like a full-on military? I don't know. 5, 10, 15, 20, who knows really? Yeah, it'll be a long time.
I think nukes. Okay, so nukes depends on what you mean. Okay, if you're talking about any type of a nuke, that like a kind of like that is not like not like a ballistic, not something that you could put on a ballistic missile that will go into Europe and create a mushroom cloud in the middle of Europe. Maybe for that, I would say 2 years. But if you're talking about any type of a nuke, I would say 3 weeks. Any type of like a dirty bomb or any nuclear weapon, I would say they already have it, actually. Okay. And to rebuild their military, I would say less than a year. Because they're so determined. Well, not a military force that they had that could go do, I don't know, not like not the same Air Force or Navy, nothing like that. They're going to focus more on the type of operations that has gotten them the most leverage. So asymmetric terroristic operations, because their Navy didn't actually do anything for them. So why even rebuild that? Their Air Force didn't actually do anything for them. So why even rebuild that? Okay, they're gonna see the things that gave them leverage and rebuild those, and they're gonna try to make them 10 times as bigger than before, and they're actually less costly. And they're gonna cut so many other things to make those, because they're so afraid right now, because their deterrence capability is so low. So they're gonna stop focusing on rebuilding expensive stuff and start focusing on cheaper stuff, but at a higher volume.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And the most dangerous, Ali, the most dangerous thing is that they're going to also focus on biological weapons.
Yeah. Chemical, biological, virus, whatever they can. Anything that keeps them alive.
Yeah, somebody, like, look at this. This guy's right, saying they can do a dirty bomb already. Yep, we're already there.
Thank you, Bill Kennedy. So if you don't think about a conventional military, very fast. Thank you for that. Also, if we back off, by the way, so
they're already right now. As we're speaking, the Islamic Republic right now is making more missiles than the United States is building. That the United States is creating missile interceptors. So this is why the only solution is to just get rid of the Islamic Republic.
Just get rid of them. It's the same reason why if you flattened Pickaxe Mountain right now, just completely destroyed their nuclear facility, it's not going to stop them from redoing it. They will at some point keep on wanting to build it. Wes Downer with a super chat, thank you very much, says, Islam has been a problem for the West since at least the Battle of Tours in 732 AD, when the Muslims were defeated by Charles the Hammer Martel. That's why the word hammer gets used in these conflicts. Example, Midnight Hammer. Ooh. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool now. I like it. Little bit of a salt in the wound there.
Also, by the way, Islam, beyond Islam being a problem for the West, Islam has been a problem for the world since inception, since day one.
Islam has been a problem for Islam.
Yeah.
Muslims kill more Muslims than anything else. Thank you, West Downer, for the generous super chat. Appreciate that very much.
Interesting information. Thank you.
Yeah. And Nacho Jimenez says he is old. He thinks this year has been 4. Again, we can speculate about that, right? But
Yeah.
I'm kind of waiting for him to say.
Somebody should have corrected him by now, though. Somebody around him in the White House, to not cause confusion.
Yeah. Hopefully it's.
Yeah, maybe his brain works so fast that time moves faster in his head.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, Nacho, for clearing that up and defending that. And Rasa, thank you for the super chat saying MEK has infiltrated Trump administration. That's how 47 went through 51. I don't know about that, but I do think that the MEK will push this.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the most pessimistic take, which could be true, but hopefully not. I don't know. The correct answer, which is the most unsatisfying answer that people don't like, is we don't know. People don't like that answer, but many times that's the answer, and people don't like it when you give that answer.
The Islamic Republic definitely infiltrated the Trump administration. Trita Parsi is still in the U.S. Why is that? Thank you, Rasa.
Oh yeah, and Trita Parsi has connection with JD Vance, so that's true.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. We got through another great program. And we have one more from Saber Coaching saying, like, share, sub, hit the bell notification, and send kisses.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Ram.
Do it.
Appreciate you.
Do all of those things. All of them.
Do everything he said.
Do not skip.
Thank you guys for watching. Again, we will be back at the same time tomorrow, every single day, for every development regarding Iran. We're your best source. And with that,
I'm Israel Chai.
Chai.
Slava Ukrainian.
Slava Ukrainian.
Cuba Libre.
Cuba Libre.
Taiwan Jiayo. Long live America.
Long live America.
Javid Shah.
Payende
Iran.
Iran.
See you guys same time tomorrow.